All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my lab, sort of. So here I have my, first of all, front end, which I had built in my own portable Intellivision development environment. Again, on an Android device. Again, just you know who I am. I'm IntyLab, is what I go by. And on my website, midnightblueinternational.com, you'll find the instructions for how to put together your own portable Intellivision development environment. This tool right here, I've migrated over to Windows. So anyway, the first game I was going to play is Foobar, so I'm just going to cut right to the chase. Alright, and let me get out my ultimate PC interface controllers here with my Sears Super Video Arcade controllers. We're looking good. Let me just lower the levels just a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, I did do a pre-recording last night just in case we had trouble. So, anyway, I'm just going to move this screen up a little bit. There we go. So I have here some preloaded save files. Oh, okay, I have one preloaded save file. And what we have right here is I created a file with all 8 players active, with myself being the blue player. That's why you see a sort of donut there instead of the smiley faces. The smiley faces are all AIs, and I'm going to be playing Elimination Mode 1. So what that means is the team that does the worst at the end of each round is eliminated. And it's going to keep going until there's only one team. I'm not going to go through all this menu stuff. I'm just going to play. Again, real quick, the name of the game, this is basically Splatoon 10 years before Splatoon. I wrote the prototype of this in 2004. I'm not going to save over my save file. Now again, I'm on Team Blue. Everybody else is on their own team. The white player, player 6, is a griefer, and is not actually one of the teams. Alright, off to a strong start here. So the rounds are going to be 40 seconds. I wrote this music myself. Oops, I'm going to teleport away because a griefer was following me. That's player 6 right there. You'll notice the general strat is I'm moving orthogonally when I'm painting over other people. Okay, red team is out. Oh dear, I'm getting some slowdown here. This, of course, is the fault of my PC. Bear with me here. It's my PC. Oops. I shouldn't be trying to look at chat at the same time here. I want to stay in the game. Oh, never mind. I'm out. That's what I get. We'll let this run its course. Yeah, see, you can't relax. You can't relax. You have that 6 seconds between rounds, and that's it. But I'd like to remind everybody, this game is my flagship game. I'm very proud of this one, out of all my games. Okay, black is out. And again, the team scores, you get 100 points for every round that you stay in the game. So I stayed in the game after one round, so I have 100 points. That's the way the scoring works in the elimination mode. But a couple salient features I like to brag on about this game. One, it's got 8 independent AIs, that each of which can be independently reprogrammed. 2, it's got a ton of replay value because there's a lot of different customization you do. Plus, you can save your files to JLP right on the cartridge. That includes the AI configurations. Okay, green is out. That leaves tan, dark green, and yellow. And the other salient feature is you can play, if you have the ECS, you can plug in a pair of Intellivision 2 controllers and have 4 players. So I think that brings us to 3 multiplayer Intellivision games. I am working on a couple more, so there will be more multiplayer games, because the Intellivision needs more multiplayer games. I think we can all agree. Tan is out. It's just dark green and yellow now. Final round. And the griefer. And I wrote the music myself, using my original tracker from 2004. And right now it still looks like it's anybody's game. The griefer's doing what griefers do best. Yellow's a little bit in the lead. I think yellow's got this. Yep. Okay. That's a game. Game over. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. Foobar was written by myself for Midnight Blue International and was licensed to Intellivision Revolution. Alright. So, that's a wrap for Foobar. Now, let's just catch up in the chat before I move on to the next game here. And there's my front end again. You can. So, it looks like everything's looking good, I hear. That's very, very good to know. I think we're in good shape. Alright. Let me see how. Okay. That's good. Yep. Alright, next game. So next I'm going to move on to X-Ray and Dilligas. Alright, my front end is here. So back to Indies and Bootlegs. And X-Ray and Dilligas. And real quick, let me just keep my chat window handy. Looking good. And there we go. Everything looks good on my end. Here we go, X-Ray and Dilligas. It is the 90s, and there is time for clacks. I'm going to move my emulation window a little bit. There we go. All right, here we go. And one of the salient features of this, I hear there's probably going to be more copies. For those of you who missed out, don't worry. Believe me, I want everybody to get a copy of this game who wants it. One of the salient features here is this utilizes all the Intellivision controls. I'll keep it on this music for X-Ray. I'll play X-Ray first with 4 diffusers. So I've got the left controller, so that's the blue side. Again, for those of you who don't know, I'll get out my mouse pointer here. I know you should be able to see it. So we have this 8x8 grid, and there's this many diffusers, 4 diffusers hidden somewhere. And we got 32 entry points surrounding the grid. And here's my cursor, and you'll see where I'm snapped to. You'll see a darker cursor behind the one that moves freely. You can either type the number of the entry point you want, or you can just go there and push the action key. Okay, so this laser went straight across. Let me keep looking. That one hit something. That's red for hit. This one reflected. That one reflected. There's a diffuser right there. Let me look around a bit more. This one reflected. This one reflected. We got one right there. This one hit. That hit. What do we got? Ah, this one went straight across. Interesting. Interesting. But this one hit. Well, I think I know what's going on. Alright, let me shoot a few more lasers. Okay. There's a diffuser there. And now this one hit somewhere. We don't know where yet. This one hit. Could be there, I'm going to guess. Ah! I was wrong. Okay. So real quick, I'll just explain the rules here for those who don't know. So orange, the laser just went in one entry point and came out a different one. So this laser just shot straight across. We don't know what's going on in the grid. Solid red means we hit something. This one, it got to here. This diffuser, which I marked, it was just up diagonally ahead of it. It turned away from it. This one went straight. Oh, that couldn't be there. Because this one went straight across. If this was here, it would have careened off somewhere. So yeah, it's no wonder I was wrong. So this is where the diffuser, I should have marked it. This entry point, the laser got to here. The diffuser here bounced it and it hit this one. Same thing, this laser got to here, and the diffuser right here bounced it and it hit here. Let me try again. Oh. Okay, there we go. We got a hit already. Ah. Okay. Let me shoot over. This one went straight across. This one reflected. This one reflected. We got one right there. And I'll bet you the other one's right here, because this diffuser bounced, and here it is. Alright, let's see. That one hit. Alright. What do we got? Straight across. Ah, right here. I'm going to put this in. Oops, I got one more. Duh. I still got one more diffuser to mark. Ah, right here. There we go. So it took me 9 lasers and 36.8 seconds to find all the diffusers. Alright, moving on. So again, one of the salient features too is that with X-Ray, 2 people can play independently of each other, just like in Clax in the arcade. I'm going to go back to the menu. So here's my personal best time and number of lasers for 4 diffusers. Now I'm going to change the number of targets. Whoops, 7. You'll see that my personal best went away because I don't have a personal best yet for 7 diffusers. I'm going to change the music out. This one's meant to be more chill, music B. I'm going to play Dilligas in 1-player mode. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is catch all the gumballs with this runaway zapper thing. And I use the disc to offset the trajectory of the zapper, and I can offset it in all 16 directions. And if I... Yep, there we go. When you get all the gumballs, you get a point and you get back some time. Now, another thing, I'll let everybody in on a secret. You can use both discs to double your power. So let me grab my other disc here. Again, sorry if I'm dropping some frames here. I am dealing with a slow computer here. Oh. So, that's good. Oh, missed that one. So now you know that little secret. Getting a very good score should be a lot easier now. Plus, 2 people can play cooperatively in the single-player mode. Anyway, I'll get one more point and I'll pull the plug here. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna back out here. Okay, so it kept my 6 points that I got. So best score today, 6. I'm gonna move over to the 2-player mode. And I just changed the number of targets back to 4. I'll change over to tune C. this one's supposed to be more exciting, a little more upbeat. Okay, so 2-player Diligast mode. I can just let it sit, and we'll see who wins just by default, by not moving anything. So the way this works is, you'll see that there's black and white, the 2nd player one. I'll just let this run through a few times. One of the other patterns, the yin-yangs. When the cursor, the little hole in the middle, is looking at a black square, then when it hits a gumball, that gumball will go into the black reservoir, which belongs to player 1. If the cursor, the center part of the cursor, is looking over a white part of the background, then when it hits a gumball, it'll go into the white reservoir, which belongs to player 2. First one to fill up the reservoir wins. Yin-yang again. And if time runs out, it's a draw. Again, I'm sorry I'm dropping frames. This does run at a good 60 frames when I'm on a better computer than this. Or even my phone. That's why I live stream from my phone. Alright. Let's see. Okay, finally. Alright, let's see who's going to get that last gumball. Looks like it went to player 1. Let's try a different pattern here. There we go. There's one. And let's see if we get the last one. Not important. There it is. Okay. This is the fourth pattern that's available. That was quick. Alright, so that's it for X-Ray and Diligast. I'm going to move on to the next game here. Looks like everything's still good at my end. That makes me very happy. Alright, what's next on the agenda? Looks like it's going to be Little Man Computer. Alright, back to my indies. Now, I have a slightly newer version of this tool here in my PIDE, but I don't have that handy here. But I added a little checkbox for Tutor Vision mode. This is actually a Tutor Vision title that I released last summer, for those of you who don't know. I will take a little bit of time to talk about this, because I built this last summer after we had our IntyLab Virtual Expo 2 years ago. Alright. Move this window up a little bit, just so I can see what's going on. Everything still looks good at my end. Alright, so, again, I am going to take a little bit of time to talk about this. So, first of all, now, this is free. I wrote this for free because I knew full well that I could never publish it, because who has a Tutor Vision? Or, for that matter, because this will also work on the Tutor Pro, because I built it to neither utilize Tutor Vision's Rex, nor utilize the address range where Rex is at. So it should work on a Tutor Pro, as well as an actual Tutor Vision. But I have a printout of the instruction manual that accompanies this, which I put each sheet in like a laminated, like sheet protector in a binder, and I had this with me at both Retro Game Cons this year. The one from May, as well as the one that just happened last weekend. Okay, so yeah, the Tutor Vision is a very minuscule part of IntyLab history that INTV is working on back at the end of the day, and it was licensed to World Book Encyclopedia. It's got a few differences from an original IntyLab. One is that it's got 4 times the graphics RAM, which Little Man Computer puts to full use. It also has 1.7 kilobytes of 16-bit memory, of which Little Man Computer puts 1.2 kilobytes to use. So that right there, it will auto-detect, are you running this on an IntyLab? If it does, it's going to tell you, sorry, I'll let you listen to the sound test, but that's all we can do for you. Let me see. but I won't go too much into the details. You'll see the system font's different too. That's one of the other differences. I also look for that to see which arrows to display as part of graphics RAM. Because the up and left arrows are in graphics ROM, down and right arrows are not. Now, about Little Man Computer itself, it was a theoretical computer from 1965. I talk about this on the front page of my instruction manual. And it draws on the analogy of a little man that operates a mailroom with 100 mailboxes and an input and output box, and also has a couple tools, a program counter, and an accumulator. And you're his boss. Anyway, I'll get right to it. Now, the reason we come to the file menu is that I have at least one file saved in JLP cartridge memory, which you'll see here, and that's the countdown. So I can go ahead and load that. If there are no save files, it'll show you a welcome screen. And also the music, it's all classical music, which I thought would be appropriate for an educational title. So this is Gabriel Faure's Opus 50, otherwise known as the Pavane, in F-sharp minor. That's good. Alright. So our little man just loaded the countdown project, which you'll see there's already numbers on the left side of the mailboxes. That's the program itself. Over on the far right side where you see this output tape, you'll see there's a bunch of numbers there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the reset menu, what I think is number 1 on the left keypad. And I'm going to reset... I want to reset the output stream, so that's number 9. And I also want to reset... I want to reset the mailboxes and the accumulator. So the mailboxes... And I want to reset the accumulator. Number 8. Oh, there we go. Okay. That one's a little bit different. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I forgot. You can control the volume with the left disc. I wonder why it sounded a little bit different. So there, I just turned it up a little bit. And the music we're listening to right now during coffee break here is, I believe this is Bach's Minuet in G major. I can also move the little man if I so choose. And by the way, he does blink his eyes. Yeah, the animation of him moving his coffee cup up and down is usually a lot smoother. Again, if I was getting 60 frames from my slow PC. But there, I made him move. Not that it matters. I'm going to open up now the code editor. And yeah, if you recognize this tune from Earthworm Jim 2, this is another classical tune. It's actually, this is Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, first movement. And you'll see I already have code here. Let's see. I think what I'll do is I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to step through this subtraction example on page 9 of the manual. So I'm going to get out of here. Okay. I'm going to reset everything. Alright, so I'm going to write a new program here. And for that, I'm going to use the second controller. And line... Okay, so first I'm going to press 9 on the second keypad. That's going to give us input, mnemonic. And it also populated 00 for the line number. And we have an asterisk here because I have modified unassembled code, and I haven't named this project yet, so just this new program. And there's our cursor. For input, I have to manually go down to the next line. And for store, I want 3. And then it's going to ask, because it wants to put something here in the operand field, the brown field. So I'm going to arrow up to new symbol, and we're going to put this in just like a Nokia phone. I'm going to put in the word first. Wait for those two cursors to align so I can start another character on the same number. And there we go. So now we have a new symbol that's called first. Next, we're going to input. Again, we're going to read something from the input tape, and then we're going to store that to something called second. Now you'll see first is here, but we don't want that. We want another symbol, which we're going to call second. There we go. Okay, next, we're going to load, and then we're going to load first. Now, we already have our symbol first, so we're just going to select it here. And then we're going to subtract second from first. Then we're going to output that. By pressing the 9 key twice, we get out, and then finally, we're going to have coffee break. Tell the little man you're done, go back to your coffee. Next, we're going to go here to the green field. We're going to put in a label, and we want first. And you'll see by default we get COB, mnemonic. I'm going to press 0 to change that to DAT, which is where we're going to enter a 3-digit number. So I'm going to press 0 and then enter, and that puts a 0 in our operand field. Okay, so I see I did disconnect and reconnect. I'm not going to sweat it, you didn't miss anything. So I'm about to assemble my code. Assembly successful, press any keypad key. Okay, so you'll see the asterisk went away because I don't have any unassembled code now. And you'll see also we do have a nice little handy-dandy sort of a scroll bar, an arrow showing us we got more code up above. Now I'm going to back out of the code editor, and you'll watch the little man do his magic trick. Alright. Now there's one more thing we need to do before we're going to run this program. And that is, I'm going to go to the input-output tape viewer. So you'll see there were two tapes. We have input, and then we have all of output. Now there is just as much input tape as there is output, but it only pans when there's enough inputs on the tape to show. And in between here we have a divider showing which is the input tape to the left, which is the output tape to the right. And if you look carefully here, all the way in the corner, we've got our spinning cursor again. So I'm going to put two values here on input tape. And for that I'm going to go back to the right controller. I'm going to press the insert key. And again, we're subtracting one value from another. So I'll subtract 400. And I'll arrow up and input. And we're going to do minus 300. Now, the highest values you can put here. Now, the accumulator, well, backtracking for a moment. The accumulator can only go to 499. It's a signed 3-digit value. So 400 is going to get read first, then 300. So our program is going to subtract 400 minus 300, and it's going to output 100 on the output tape. But for now, we're going to go back out of, I'm going to switch back to the left controller. We're going to get out of this mode. Okay, and that first value, 400, is happily sitting here waiting to be read from the inbox. All right, here we go. And of course, we all know Flight of the Bumblebee. So I'm not going to stop and explain what the little man is doing, but he's simulating what a CPU does. But yeah, where it says PC, that's the program counter. That's the next instruction getting fetched. So the accumulator has a 400 on it. There was a Z flag here when it was had a value 0. Now it's got 300, which it read from the inbox. It's going to take that 300, it's going to put it down here, at mailbox 09. And on he goes. He's going to grab back this 400 from mailbox 08 and put that on the accumulator. So he wrote 400 on his little handy index card, and he knows to put that here. The next instruction is going to tell him subtract what's in mailbox 09, which is our 300. So he's going to write down 300 onto his index card, and then subtract that from the accumulator, giving us 100. And next, 902 is for output. He's going to take that 100, and it's going to go right here onto the output tape. And there it is. And next, he's going to read 0, which means you're done. Take your coffee break again. There we go. So we have 400 minus 300, or 100, on our tape. And we can go back to the tape viewer and see for ourselves. And you'll see that the 400 and 300 are gone because they were taken off the tape. And there's our 100 on the output tape. Now, if I wanted to, if I wanted to, I can save this. Here's our file menu, and we can save to file 0. And now we have to give it a name because we're saving this for the first time. So I want to call it subtraction. So just as before, I'm going to use the right controller and do the old Nokia phone keypad thing. Wait for them to align so I can get my C after my A. And I. And N. Enter. Saving done. Now, Little Man Computer uses an entire JLP sector to save, because there's all the project data that goes in there. So now that's happily on the tape. I'm going to back out of the file menu. C for return. C again for return. And I'm getting a message here. Let me just see what's going on here. Bear with me. 25 minutes left. Yep, I am keeping an eye on the time, but thank you for the reminder. That's not a problem. Yep, so, yeah, I'm making good time right now. Okay, so I could stop and go through the sound test, but anyway, we're looking good. You'll recognize this from the tape viewer. Gabriel Fauré Pavane, that's from the menus. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata from the code editor. Song of the Volga Boatman you'll hear when there's an error. Fun fact, if I was able to use the ECS, which I can't because it's not compatible with the Tutor Vision, I would have had 6 channels. I wanted to use Chopin's Funeral March. Oh well. This you've heard. This is used if you start code execution in step-through mode, which auto-pauses after each step of execution. And then Flight of the Bumblebee we know. Alright, so anyhow, that's all I want to do for Little Man Computer. Moving on. Next, we have, now I did promise there was going to be a new game reveal. Here's a little surprise for you. There's actually going to be 2 new game reveals. The first of which is going to be a Better Mousetrap, which I have in my ROM hacks menu. And again, I have a lot of ROM hacks on my website, which are out there for the taking. A Better Mousetrap is the only one that I actually made into a finished product. These other ones just have at it. Like, for example, Melody Blaster is just as big a ROM hack, but as with a Little Man Computer, who's got a music keyboard to play it on? So I knew there was another one I couldn't make into a finished product, so I never published it, but it's out for free on my website. So here's a better mousetrap. I haven't made a screenshot yet for it for my little tool here. All right. And again, this was a brand new release last weekend at Retro Game Con. So I'm just going to get right to it. So this is one of the features from the arcade port. It had this in the attract mode. It told you how to play. I split it into 2 screens for 2 reasons. One is that because the arcade port is portrait orientation on the Intellivision's landscape, so I didn't have enough vertical real estate to fit all the lines. And 2, the Intellivision only has 8 sprites, and they're all in use right here. But I had to integrate it with the number of players. That's how I did it, because I was dealing with the executive ROM here. So I'm going to put 1 player, and immediately it takes us to the second screen, which gives us the rest of how to play. And it also asks you your difficulty level. I'm going to play at level 3. That's where I'm most comfortable. And I'm going to try to get all 4 prize fanfares and finish 1 level. So here goes. Then I press enter to begin. You'll see the maze is now green. And because of the Intellivision's graphics limitations, the cheese had to be the same color, so the cheese is now green, which is just fine with me. But I wanted the maze to be green because, 1, it's consistent with the... Uh-oh, here comes the hawk. Now the hawk, as you may know, will always eat you, even if you're a dog. So there's the first prize fanfare we just heard. Uh-oh. And when you die, just like in the arcade, the maze flashes green and purple, and that is the Death by Cat tune. Yeah, you want to listen for that chime to let you know when a cat's coming out of its pen. Here comes the hawk. I'm gonna... Ah! I wasn't expecting him to go that way. Alright. And yeah, I'm playing on original controllers, so hence the clicky-clicky. No, go back in there, cats. I was just gonna trap ya. Or would you rather I just ate you instead? Either way is fine by me. Oh, that was quick. That's the second prize fanfare you just heard. And that's number 3, and finally... Ooh, bonus mouse. See, it pays to get them... I just utilized my last dog biscuit. And that's the 4th and final prize fanfare. And now it cycles back to the first. Oh, and I'm out of dog biscuits, aren't I? Well, that's going to be a problem. But I only got 2 cheeses left to go. Ah! I have no dog biscuits! Go away, hawk. Stay over there, cat. Not you, kitty. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Alright, let's finish this level off. That's another feature from the arcade game, that explosion animation and the original end-of-level fanfare. Now, yeah, usually I end up with a score in the 40,000 range, here on difficulty 3. So, I'm playing about as well as I normally do. If I get to 50,000, that'll be a new PB for me for level 3. Again, pardon the slow computer. Now, yeah, one of the things I did not implement was because there are 2 different death tunes. one for Caught by the Cat and one for Caught by the Hawk. I didn't bother putting in the Hawk death tune. I only have the Cat one. Because what I did was I only expanded the ROM to 8 kilobytes from 4 kilobytes. So I didn't have room for everything. I have dog biscuits again, and I know how to use them. Ah! And of course, a hawk head would appear right where I was. Well, okay. I didn't make it 50 grand, but so there you have it, a little man computer. Oh, and one more, couple more things I'll point out. The inn is a lot less ugly than it used to be. I did a graphics hack in the inn. The cheeses are bigger. See how the inn doesn't look like it used to. The cheeses are a little bigger. I added a 3rd pixel row. And the text is now mixed case, which I'm kind of a stickler for that too. So that's a better mousetrap. All right. So again, we have this is sold by Intellivision Revolution, so get your copy today if you're out at PRGE. I sold all but one of the copies that I took with me to Retro Game Con, but I do have a prospective buyer for that one. We'll see. All right, moving on. Okay, so we're making really good time. I got plenty of time anyway for the new game reveal. Back to indies here. And here we go. Jomrati and Gold Digger. So, what is Jomrati and Gold Digger? Well, both of these were games that were on Windows 3.1. Actually, Gold Digger, I think it was just called Gold Hunt. And that was a very early Windows game. Jomrati stands for just one more roll and that's it. I'm just going to move my window over a little bit. There we go. All right. And the reason I wrote this is actually my mother requested it. Back in 1996, for a couple of years, we had we were signed up for the Software of the Month Club. And Jomrati is one of the games that came on a CD, and my mother and sister used to play it a lot on my old 486 computer. And they had a lot of fun with it. But yeah, my mother requested it. That's why I wrote this. And I added Gold Hunt to it and renamed it Gold Digger. So I'm going to get right into it. So here's the menu. Right now you just see press 1, 2, 4, or 5 to play Jomrati. Press 3 to play Gold Digger. I'm going to play Gold Digger first. Now this is 1 or 2 players. All you're trying to do is you're trying to find the gold. So you'll see I borrowed some of the original code from X-Ray and Dilligast to have both the free cursor and that snapped cursor, which now is just a pair of lines. And let me just start looking. Okay, I'm 13 away from the gold. 2 away. Wow. 2 away. 2 away. Yeah, the timer starts as soon as you start digging. So I found it in 5 moves, which has got to be a PB, and I found it in 7.2 seconds, which is also a PB. Now, 2 people can also play simultaneously. You can play cooperatively or competitively, because you can either play by, because it keeps, obviously the time is going to be the same between both players, but it keeps each individual player's number of moves. So if I back out here, you'll see here the best number of moves so far was 5, and this doesn't use JLP, so it doesn't save to cartridge. So 5 moves, 7.2 seconds was the best time. And the last time I played, it was 5 moves and 7.2 seconds. Now, Jomrati. There are 4 different modes of play. You can play 2 for 2 player, 5 for a 2 CPU demo, 1 or 4 is 1 player against the CPU. I forget who's who, but there were 2 different AI players. One is called conservative, and one is called aggressive. And I'm going to play a one-player game against, I don't know which CPU. I'm just going to press the 1 key. Okay, it looks like CPU is going first. So I'll let the CPU just play, and then I'll explain what's going on here. But yeah, if you're watching, Mom, I hope you like it. This is for you. I love you. Okay, so the CPU ended off and cashed in, took 76 points for the first round. Now, the first roll that happened before the game began, you saw 4 dice roll, and those 4 dice were duplicated here. So we have a 6 and a 2 for the bonus, and a 5 and a 1 for the zap. And what will happen is on your first roll, if you roll a 6 and a 2, whoever rolls that 6 and a 2 first will get the 86 bonus points, which goes right to your score. Or whoever rolls a 5 and a 1 first will lose 83 points as zap. Your score never goes negative, so it would just go to 0 if you don't have 83 points. So, yeah, player 2 went first. And so now it's my round 1. Press 7 to roll. Okay, so my first roll was a 4. I can roll as many times as I want. If I roll a 4 again, then I go bust and I get no points for this round. Or at any point, I can stop and cash in the points I've earned. So here's my round score. Right now is 0, of course. I'm going to roll 6. So I got 6 points. I got another 5 points. Another 7 points. Now again, the CPU got 76 points, so I got to take it into consideration. How many points do I want to shoot for? Ooh, 11. That's good. Oh, I rolled another 4, so I went bust. No points for me. 9 ends your turn. Okay, the CPU is doing high risk mode. Oh, and went bust right away. What is high risk mode? If your first roll is a 6 or below, you can enter high risk mode, which only has you roll 1 die instead of 2 dice. And when you do that, you get, I think, 5 times the pip count for your round points. 7. Ew. I'll probably stop at 20 points. I'll probably go bust real quick here. Who called it? Anyway, the game plays for 10 rounds. After both players have had 10 rounds, then the game's over, highest score wins. And there's no tiebreaker. It's just over after 10 rounds. So it can end in a draw. Okay, CPU cashed in. Let's see if I can score this time. Ooh, snake eyes. Too bad I don't have any points that I could cash in to buy insurance. Oh well, this is going to be good. Alright, hope I don't go bust. This is a good scoring opportunity. But I do have to try to catch up to the CPU if I can. Alright, starting to... Ooh! Look at that, I broke 100 points on in a single round. I'll take it. Oh, so CPU's doing high risk mode again. Took 65 points for that one. Alright, I rolled a 10. I'm not going to buy insurance. I don't think I'm going to catch up. I'm not going to shoot. Pfft, never mind. Went bust. Good thing I didn't... Ah, the CPU got the bonus. It's gone now. Well, now I'm really at a competitive disadvantage here. A 9. Not good, but not bad either. Again, I'm behind by over 200 points now, and there's 6 rounds left to go, so... Ooh, that was good. But you know what? I think I'm pushing my luck here. I'm going to take that. So we're halfway through the game here. Haha. Too bad, CPU. Went bust on a 3, pretty cool. Ooh! Now, I have 50 points to spend on insurance. Yep, so I just bought insurance that docked me 50 points. Here we go. Because when you have insurance, nothing to do but just keep rolling until it pays. So the way insurance works is you can roll another, in this case, 2, 1 time with impunity. So I'm confident I'm going to get a lot of points before insurance pays. And I'm going to keep rolling until it does. Because I've already gotten a return on my investment. A 2-to-1 payout would be nice. Come on, CPU. Whatever you're doing in the background there. Uh-oh. 3-minute warning. I saw that. Alright, please sign off gracefully. I guess we're not going to finish this game here, but that's okay. Let's see how many points I get this round. Yeah, I know. Alright. So that's what it was, huh? Just me getting that message overloaded my CPU. That's pretty sad. You know, I hope I sell a lot of copies of my next game so I can buy myself a... Oh! Insurance pays. I'm taking my 222 points, because look at who's ahead. An evil offer. Ooh. Every once in a while, the CPU will do this. It'll say, roll one more time, and I'll throw in a few extra points to your round score. You know what? I'll take it. I'm cashing in. Look who's ahead. Alright, CPU is going to do one more turn here, and they're going to end off here. Alright, so I didn't finish... Haha. Well, alright, so I didn't get to finish, but time is up here. But again, I want to thank all of you for joining me in here in my virtual lab. And I hope you're enjoying the con for those of you who are out there at PRGE this weekend. And do buy a copy of A Better Mousetrap so I can get a better computer. And... it helps out Rev also, I hope. So, anyhow, that's that. So I'm going to keep the games coming. So thank you once again. Alright. So let me see. I don't think I can bail out of here. I'm just going to hit quit. Alright. And it's going to go back to my front end. And I'm going to close out the front end. And that's that. Alright, so thank you again. I want to thank all of you for stopping to see what I've been up to. And if I did have time, I would show off my bump and jump level editor, but I want to remind everybody that it is also free from